Hello, my angels. Tonight I'm going to carry on reading about Toad. Do you remember that he was driving so badly, too fast, screeching around the corners, not worrying about other people, and he was cheeky to the policeman, so he went to jail. And then he had to dress up as a washerwoman so that he could escape. So this is his first night out of jail. The further adventures of Toad. Toad slept that night in the hollow of a tree. In the forest, he woke up next morning because his toes were cold. But he soon forgot about that when he remembered that he was free. He wasn't in jail anymore. He had all the world to himself that early summer morning, and he strolled along the lanes until he came to a canal. Rounding a bend in the canal came plodding a large horse, towing a barge. Can you see the horse walks on the land and the barge stays in the water? Steering the barge was a large, stout woman. "A nice morning, ma'am," she called to Toad as the barge drew level with him. "Here he is," and she sang, "Hello." Toad replied politely and said he was a poor washerwoman trying to get back to her home near Toad Hall. "Toad Hall?" answered the barge woman. "Why, I'm going that way." Toad's luck again, thought Toad as he stepped lightly on board the barge. "I always come out on top." But there was a surprise in store for Toad this time. "You can get on with my washing for me," she said, "to pay for the lift I'm giving you." Toad's back was aching, and his wet paws were getting all crinkly from being in the water, like when you're in the bath for a long time and your fingers get all crinkly. The barge woman suddenly laughed. "Why, you can't wash at all," she said, and looked at him closely. "Well, I never! A horrid, nasty Toad, and in my clean barge!" And she threw him over the side. Toad hit the water with a splash and a splatter, but he managed to swim to the steep bank and climb up. He was very cross and looking for revenge. Then he saw the horse, which had been towing the barge. He ran after it, unfastened the tow rope, and jumped up on the horse's back and went off at a gallop. He had travelled a long way when he came to a gypsy caravan where a man was sitting by a fire of sticks. From the pot, which was hanging over the fire, came the most delicious smells. Toad just sat there and sniffed hungrily. Oh, he hadn't eaten in a while. "Want to sell that horse of yours?" asked the gypsy. "Sell this beautiful horse?" exclaimed Toad. "Oh no, it's out of the question." But the gypsy continued to bargain with him, and he offered him 50 cents. Toad thought very carefully. He was very hungry, and he had no money. "Look here, gypsy," he said, "if you give me 75 pence, plus as much as I can possibly eat out of that pot, you can have my horse." So it was arranged, and Toad stuffed and stuffed and kept asking for more. After he had finished eating, Toad set off for the road once more, very pleased with himself. He saw a car coming and stood in the middle of the road to stop it. But oh dear, as it slowed down, he recognized it as the car he had stolen. Oh, now remember, he stole someone's car, the blue car. Poor Toad collapsed in despair in the road. Toad thought the people in the car would send for the police. But no, they didn't see a toad. They saw a poor old washerwoman lying in the road, and they decided to take her to the nearest village. So they lifted Toad into the car, and as they moved off, his courage began to revive. And when they had gone a little way, he asked if he could drive the car. How they laughed! "Let the old lady try," They thought he was an old lady. They didn't realize he was Toad. Oh, just let the old lady try. So Toad eagerly took the wheel and he drove off, very slowly at first, then faster and faster. And when he started boasting what a clever Toad he was, they realized their mistake and tried to grab him. The car went through a hedge and they all landed in a muddy pool. Oh, Toad will never learn, will he? That's the end of the story for tonight. I'll read you another chapter tomorrow night, okay? And another princess story. Okay, love you all. Sleep tight. Bye.